Hello everyone, it's John from Brisbane. It's been a while since I've posted anything. Um, why has that been? Well, what can I say? I guess I've been struggling, to have the enthusiasm to post. I don't know. It's just been one of those things. I've really wanted to and just have not had. Yeah, it's strange. Ever since my hospitalisation back in July, I've just found that I have just not, just not been quite myself still. So I think I'll get back to being maybe who I was. Who knows? But I thought it's been a while. I better go post something to let people know that yes, I'm still here. What have I been up to? Still playing board games. Obviously, still role playing. I've actually started my third group in Saltmarsh, and that started off last Sunday. So that is in itself quite good. Very happy with that. So that's a total of 16 people. 16 people enjoying my Saltmarsh adventures. So that's, I think, in itself quite an interesting feat for somebody who sees himself as, I guess, a recluse and an isolationist. So that, I think, is fairly significant. Yeah. I'm good at repeating myself. But that's where that are. Oh, yes, really good English today too. So you'll have to forgive me. It's early. As everybody knows, I'm in Brisbane, Australia, and it's, well, supposedly spring, but I think we've gone straight to summer. And as the media likes to exaggerate, apparently we've got a climate emergency, which doesn't exist. We have bushfires. We always have bushfires, just as we always have floods. We either have one or the other. We don't really have a happy medium here in Australia. So it's it's just what we do. The weather's hot or it's wet. And depending where you are, it might actually get cold. Yes. So, but anyway, we potter along. We do as best as we can. So yeah, it's the weather's, it's smoky. So not much. What can you do? Nothing. It's the weather. It's the weather. That's all that I can say about that. So the other thing that I guess is the sadness that's happening is that the club that I've been supporting and helping along for the last, I guess, over a decade now, the Blind Pig Games Club, is calling it quits this year. And that is a sad state of affairs, that independent clubs these days really do find it hard to compete against stalls that have their own game space, because clubs, especially if they're not supported by a non-profit organisation that can afford to put them up for nothing, have to charge. And for instance, the hall rental that we have, it's essentially $160 to rent the hall for the day that we have. And that's without paying for the air conditioning. If we want the air conditioning, I think it's an extra I can't remember how much it is. I think it might be an extra $10 an hour if we want the air conditioning turned on. And with summer coming, we tend to find that, sadly, this going to offend people. Weak generation of people like their creature comforts. Unlike myself, we didn't have air conditioning when I was young. You know, a fan might have been it, or we just coped with the fact that there was, you know, that was it. But no, people today, they like their air conditioning and they wonder why the electricity and everything. But anyway, we won't get political. So the Port Club, sadly, is unable to continue to go. While we have a core group of people who turn up, we sadly can't continue to operate at a loss. You know, sometimes we get more than the number of people turning up, but most of the time, you know, we're falling short, well and significantly, and it's sad. It really is. It really is. The club's been in existence for 20 years, and you know, it just shows the way things have changed. That people would prefer to go play in shops where it's air conditioned, and that I prefer personally a venue that's not affiliated with a business, but again, you know, really you end up with, I guess, politics of one form or another happening, whether or not it's business interests or you know, people's, you know, empire building within clubs, and you know, I'm wanting to be important. I'm building my own little empire, and you know, people must follow me, and I'm important, and you know, rather than people coming along and just enjoying games and having fun. And that's where I think a lot of people would prefer to play at home. But the problem then is that how do you get out and meet other people? And that's the other thing is that you need that place where an independent club is a wonderful place that you can go and meet somebody where it's safe, and you can feel non-threatened, I guess. I guess you can feel that, I guess, in a shop as well, but it's always, yeah, I guess it's really up to yourself as to what you feel in comfort with. But you know, you need places where you can meet new people. Australia in particular, we don't have, you know, the convention scene that, you know, Europe and North America have. We do have smaller areas, you know, or smaller conventions, and you know, things like Supernova, and I think PAX comes here, but you know, they're not quite what appeals to a lot of people. Sorry, I get distracted very easily. I've got a street, well, of course I've got a street opposite outside, but I get to watch the passing traffic occasionally, so yes. But yeah, these are the things that that happen, and of course people, I think, these days find that it's easier to play amongst friends at home. But you know, I find myself getting older is that you either outlive your friends, they move on, you lose them, and you're always looking for, you know, I like to meet new people, and the club was a wonderful place to meet and greet. And with my mental illness, I need to be able to challenge myself, if that's the correct word, but I need to be able to prove to myself that I can get better. And obviously you can't get better if you just stay at home and hide from the world. So, but yeah, it's very sad. The club finishes up this Saturday, 30th of November. So if anybody's watching this, obviously my YouTube, this video will last for quite some time on YouTube. So people watching it'll go, oh, what's this? Oh, I'll have to get. No, sorry. If you're watching this after the 30th of November 2019, the club will no longer exist, and you'll have missed your opportunity. But the club is sadly no more. It will continue to exist within the hearts and minds of those of us that have supported it, and we will continue to operate as an affiliation of members, and we'll meet obviously here at my place, at Paul's place, at a couple of other people's place. You know, it's not like the club will die, because we're more a band of affiliated minded people. So yeah, life will continue. What else have I got to ramble on about? Myself, undertaking some new therapy for myself, something called TMS, which is dealing with magnetics. So gone is the old ECT, where they decide to electroshock you. So I think they've realised that I'm not a very good subject anymore, so they're progressing to magnets now. So that'll be an entertaining. Thankfully, that means that I don't have to be knocked out anymore. So which is good, because I really do dislike needles at the best of times, and you always had to try and work out how you're going to drive home, or not drive home, but you had to organise to get driven home, because this business of the chance that you're could fall unconscious after having anaesthetic and things like that. So there's all these concerns now, and liability, and yeah, it's an interesting thing. So that's what's happening with me. So that'll be apparently a 4-week period of, yeah, strapped in and magnetised. Hopefully I might come out as Magneto. That would be very good. Yes, Magneto's always been my hero. Does that show you the sort of person I'd be? Yes. Anyway, look, I can't think of too much else to ramble on about. Yeah, it's more just a thing to say, hello, I'm still here. I'll try and post some more meaningful stuff, but it's just hello, I'm here, and I'll catch up with everybody a little bit later on. So anyway, look, thank you for having a watch at an old man's ramble, and I shall catch you next time. So till then, signing off, the Honourable John.